Hello everyone, I'm back with more House of the Dragon content for you.
Finally!
Yup, back once again to talk about episode 9, the best episode of season 1. So in this video I'll be talking about Aegon Targaryen, the second, everyone's favorite character. Okay, all jokes aside, let's get serious here. The show completely ruined Aegon, like completely. In episode 7 he was an irresponsible teenager going through puberty in a wrong way that didn't really care about his family or anything really. I mean, he did seem to be a bit of an asshole, seeing how he talks about his sister and brother. I mean, yeah, Aegon, if you want people to love you, maybe you should try earning their love in the first place, you know? So, I mean, I could definitely see him growing up into a bigger asshole, sure. However, he wasn't an absolute monster. Making fun of his little brother for not having a dragon was bad, sure, but all teenagers make stupid pranks like that. He did seem to have an okay relationship with Jace and Luke and a remarkable sense of honesty as well. So he had some redeeming qualities. He wasn't a monster. He did say a lot of dumb stuff, yes, but he always spoke his mind seriously. I mean, think about it, he didn't say a single lie during those episodes. So, I don't know, he seemed like a jerk, but not a very hateable one, you know? Kinda like the Joker. Wait, no, I didn't mean it like that. And it wasn't entirely his fault about that. His father basically ignored his existence, and his mother kept pressuring him into going against his sister. So, both of his parents are responsible to some degree for this behavior. After all, alcoholism is a very common coping mechanism for people who feel lonely, isolated, or are under a lot of stress. However, him going from a sympathetic jerk to a rapist who is compared to a beast is a bit too much. Now look, Aegon seeing and treating other people as objects does make some sense. Again, part of this is because of his upbringing. The fact that he had a missing father and a toxic mother and grandfather in his life. And he was also a prince, so he was raised with a very privileged status. Despite his self-pity, the guy really needs to realize that he has had a much easier life than other people in Westeros. So yeah, it makes some sense for Aegon to, well, suck. But not this much. Episode 9 sucked for many reasons that I have explored in my previous videos. But man, the way they did Aegon dirt in this episode was, in my opinion, unforgivable. The worst moment of the episode for me was the one where we found out that Aegon enjoys watching children fight each other like animals in the fighting pits of King's Landing. Which is just so ew. Like what the fuck? Even fucking Adolf Hitler would be disgusted by that shit, man.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl!
Please tell me that someone else besides me realizes why this is a problem. This one line turns Aegon into an irredeemable monster. Now, House of the Dragon isn't much of a great story anymore, is it? It's a somewhat decent Queen Rhaenyra versus monstrous King Aegon. I don't hate the idea of Aegon being bad. I mean, Book Aegon isn't that much of a good guy in the first place, honestly. And this whole thing makes Otto Hightower look like a hypocrite because he didn't want dangerous and violent men like Daemon to inherit the throne, but he has no problem letting dangerous and violent men like Aegon inherit it, Yeah, I get it, he looks like a hypocrite. Still, even in the book, Aegon does seem to care somewhat about his wife Elena, even if it is in a toxic way. I'm saying this because in the book he gets offended when Jace asks her to dance with him. I mean, that's something, I guess. I get it that he's a jerk and that the parallel between him and Rhaenyra is that they are both sexually active people, but he can get away with it because he's a man, while Rhaenyra cannot because she's a woman. I get it, However, by making him this fucked up, you just dehumanize him. At this point, Aegon isn't even a character anymore. He's compared to a beast in the show. So basically he's nothing more than a tool for the writers to use whenever they are going to need a villain to blame. For the chaotic shit that is going to happen. And it is going to make Rhaenyra's side more sympathetic. And there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, Daemon also seems to serve a similar purpose. A lot of people who support the Greens do so by arguing that Daemon is too violent and dangerous, and cannot be allowed anywhere near the Iron Throne. And therefore you get choose the lesser of two evils argument. But hey, even Daemon has some redeeming qualities, like the love and loyalty he had for his brother. The problem, however, is that Aegon is such a fucked up monster, he has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And that just puts an end to this sort of argument, because now he becomes the main villain. Kinda like Joffrey, remember? Remember how much people hated that guy? Yeah, Aegon is not supposed to be another Joffrey, although the similarities between the two are there, of course. If it wasn't for Larys, he would be the most evil character in the show, and that's just going too far in my opinion. For all her faults, Rhaenyra has many redeeming qualities. Aegon doesn't even have one. The writer just wants us to pity him because he has the "daddy never loved me" syndrome. Personally, however, this makes me dislike him even more. So yeah, in conclusion, not only did the showrunners ruin Aegon by over-vilifying him, but they also ruined the moral balance and competition between Team Black and Team Green. Here's the thing, in my past videos where I complained about episode 9, I mostly focused on the character of Alicent Hightower and how the showrunners went too far with their character pacification. I highly recommend you watch those videos, by the way. I'll link them in the description down below. But anyway, simply put, they made her too passive, sympathetic, and took away agency and responsibility from her actions by making the men around her responsible for, basically everything. Be it Viserys for fucking with her mind on his deathbed, Otto for organizing the coup behind her back even though she was supposed to do that, Larys for killing his own family even though she didn't tell him to. Yeah, the list goes on. Which is just so convenient for her, isn't it? That everything that happens around her is not directly her fault. How convenient. Aegon, however, well, his situation is the complete opposite now. They went too far on the other direction, by over-vilifying him. Not only was Aegon treated and compared figuratively to a beast in episode 9, but he's now the main villain of the series. We do feel some pity for Aegon, but not sympathy. Because, come on, watching children fight and kill each other with teeth, like animals, come on dude. Did you really need to go that far? Oh, he's also a rapist. Did I forget to mention that? And honestly, in my opinion, this is a shame. Because just like his mother Alicent, Aegon was also trapped in a position he couldn't get out of. He was forced to become king for the sake of his mother and grandfather's plans. Aegon did not ask for this. This could have been an opportunity to show that innocent young men also suffer under the unjust system of Westeros, just like young women. They are also forced into roles that they do not want, and then end up becoming part of the system itself. But Aegon is anything but innocent. Honestly, it's just sad. They could have made Aegon an actual human being who is stuck in a difficult, if not impossible position. Like they did with his mother Alicent. But instead, they chose to make him a monster. Oh well, some characters just don't get the same treatment, I guess. And again, he is an asshole in the book as well. And it makes sense considering his upbringing. But in the book, his first redeeming act is to refuse the crown because he didn't want to betray his sister and his father's memory. Viserys seemed to have loved his children with Alicent more in the book. Still, Alicent and Sir Criston were the ones who convinced him to take the crown. And well, that was the beginning of the end for Aegon. So yeah, that was the point of this video. The show writers ruined Aegon and the complex moral battle between the two sides by making him too villainous. In my opinion, he's barely even a character now. But hey, what do you guys think? Do you think Aegon is too evil? Do you still sympathize with him? Do you support him despite the fact that he is yeah, whatever. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching as always everyone. Please, consider liking, sharing and subscribing. I'm really trying to make it to 1000 subscribers for monetization, so please share this video if you can. Also feel free to share your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope I'll see you again in my next video.